fucking goober. Welcome to another day in the goofiest timeline we have to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like this is one of those days where I'm like, this was never gonna happen. You know what I mean? Or I'm like, no, ain't no way. Like, I mean, when we did the live stream, our 6-hour live stream, like, and listen, this is not like this is not me saying that I like Kamala Harris, but like, low key didn't think she was gonna lose the weight, at least not so bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting
Yeah. I had a feeling that it was going to be Trump, but I didn't. I didn't.
You were in denial like the rest of us.
House Sergeant at Arms.
No, I mean, I kind of saw where it was going because the Dems really messed up. Like, if the Dems didn't, I think that if they just kept to Biden not trying to run again, and they just actually had, a real primary and stuff like that, they might have fared a lot better, and maybe it would have been Kamala, but it just looks so unorganized and kind of sleazy from from the perspective of Americans, like, watching it happen, so it's just yeah, I don't know. So here we are.
Yeah.
Here
Exactly.
we are.
Here we are. Oh man. For me, right? It's disappointing in the sense that, I mean, I don't support the presidency of the United States in general, but it's disappointing in the sense that, like, this is the first time. Actually, hold up. No, this is the first time in most of our lives, if not all of our lives, that he's a president who's been president again after his first term. There he is.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, for me, like, I lived through Reagan, I lived through Clinton, and then we had Bush and Obama. But like, the split in between two is that's a weird thing. When's the last time that's happened? I think that was, you're going back like 100 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Look at it. He's just so. Like, and they called all these people. I was watching since 11 o'clock because I just had it on because I found the link, and like, they literally made everyone stand. Like, they're announcing them in, like, they're doing the ceremony of announcing everyone in, and they have to stand the entire time waiting for this. It's like,
yeah,
why? I'd be sitting my butt down in that chair. But yeah, so there was are we at noon? No, we're not at noon yet. They'll do it right at noon because it has to be all.
We're getting there. All official and whatever. Look at all these goobers just like cool with Donald Trump.
No, and they'll all clap them. They'll all be like,
"Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated."
Oh, finally. They finally get to sit.
Yeah, so maybe their ankles don't get so swollen.
I guess there is a watch party going on. So like that was one of the things that, like, the liberals are pointing out, like, people, the MAGAs complaining that they bought hotel rooms and they wanted to bring their kids to see it.
Yeah, you sent me a picture. Let me pull that up actually.
So yeah, so they like
the chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy
Klobuchar.
No, they just said, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm listening to the show. Why? I don't care. But yeah, no, they so of course the liberals are all making fun of the MAGAs being all upset. But
and Vice President-elect Vance will take their
I don't think I can show it and the stream at the same time.
Yeah, that's the problem with the
Okay, well, you know what? I'll just read it. So you sent me a picture from Reddit. It's titled "Presidential Inauguration." Well, when we make the clips, you can show them. We were
Yeah.
so looking forward to bringing out our two girls to the inauguration of the President Trump, and now that has been canceled. We are trying to obtain a refund for the 2 nights we booked with Hyatt Central Arlington. We paid $1,700 2 nights in a hotel that is usually around $250 a night. We didn't have the option to get a refundable room, and now the hotel refuses to reimburse us. We are not wealthy. We put the expenses on a credit card. Oof. Because it was important to us to give our kids a chance to witness a historical event. The reply, it's the policy, but policies are not inflexible laws to prevent you from being reasonable. This person just got played so hard.
Mhm.
It's like that is Donald Trump's, that is American democracy, like summarized. Like you getting
Yeah.
refunded and you can't stay at the hotel because the event is canceled.
Yeah. And and that was like, even with the J6 stuff, like all of them felt like so not supported, because they all
Yeah.
land up in jail, and a bunch of them land in jail. And you know, seeing what Biden just did with doing like a blanket pardon for
Mhm.
General Milley and Fossey and the J6 committee, like Trump could have taken that move for those people, I guess. Not that I care. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
better that they're off the streets, but I mean, it just shows you, like, he doesn't
Mhm. Yeah.
care about the working class.
No, these people, none of them do. They never have, they never will. It's not in their interest to. So for reference, what you're talking about, Biden preemptively pardons Anthony Fauci, Mark Milley, and Jan 6 committee members. President Joe Biden on Monday issued preemptive pardons to potential targets of the incoming Trump admin, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and lawmakers who served on the House January 6 committee. Our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are the lifeblood of our democracy. We don't live in a democracy. Biden said in a statement just hours before the president-elect Donald Trump was sworn into office. Oh, sorry, the thing was
No,
playing
that's
at the
it.
same time in my ear. Yeah, alarmingly, public servants have been subject to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties, Biden added. Trump in his 2024 campaign repeatedly vowed retribution as political enemies, specifically singling out lawmakers like Liz Cheney, who investigated the attack on the U.S. Capitol, said Cheney and other committee members should be put in jail. Trump called Biden's actions disgraceful in a text to NBC News. Many are guilty of major crimes, he told a news outlet. Milley, who retired as chairman of the Joint Chiefs Staff in 2023, has been a target of Republican attacks over the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, has been lightning rod of criticism over the federal government response to the coronavirus pandemic. I mean, the response, both of those things were actually like atrocious examples
Mhm.
of the government's mismanagement and the government's inability, this bourgeois state's inability to like actually handle any kind of humanitarian crisis.
Mhm.
Like
Exactly.
the non-response to COVID led to so many more hundreds of thousands of people dying within the country, and
Mhm.
the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. While again, not a promotion of imperial wars, but like the way they just like abandon people who in their
Right.
perspective may have generally like
Help
we're
them. Yeah.
fighting against the Taliban,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now the Taliban runs the country.
Yeah. And not to mention that those two things started under Trump.
Mhm.
So the things that he wants to go after them on is stuff that, he put the Afghanistan, pullout, he started it, he initiated it. And then you look at the COVID stuff, and the non-response started with him, you know.
Yep.
So we had a full year under him, and Fossey was the guy with him too.
Yeah.
You can't even like he's gonna go at whoever, takes something off of him, you know,
Mhm.
and it's just amazing. It's the same thing with the TikTok ban. He was the one like wanting TikTok banned like so long ago. So,
Yep.
but yeah. I don't. This must be. Well, everyone speculated. Oh, it was moved inside because I mean, it was going to be cold enough. So whatever. That was the precedent. But
Afternoon.
is it because he's afraid of another
Through the years is the
I
assassination?
mean,
It's
people have tried. I mean,
persevere through time
that's
is the
a
truest
kind of a
measure
real
of an
concern of his,
yeah.
ideal,
I imagine.
an
Could you imagine they shot
institution,
the other part of his
and
ear?
a nation. Our founders rose
That
from
he,
That'd
the
be such a
ashes
goofy
so
fucking
that
day.
I know,
America
I know.
withstand all the twists
And then everyone's
and
speculating because I showed you
they
they
wrote it to
they
die
all
for.
said in
With your
2017 when it was being
right
let in
fight
how few people were in the plaza,
but as much
and
as the
like they
twist
made
and
fun of him over that, and
enshrined in the Constitution
he's
remain
not even gonna
essential.
get that. He's not even.
Hmm.
He probably could have packed it this time because
Power to
Yeah.
change
Americans aren't very smart, but
your own
Yeah.
destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance of democracy. It
hmm
allows the endurance, the
It's just so
permanence
cringe. Like
of a nation through change.
when
It
you
allows
see past
nations
all this
like our
bullshit,
United
whenever you
States
hear these
both
people
to
talking about,
avoid the
standing for
obstacles
democracy and for
yeah,
and to
freedom.
seize the
And I still
opportunities
sometimes I'm like, do
God
you
has
guys like
placed before
really
us,
believe that?
all while staying
yeah.
true to our
They,
founding
I
principles.
don't, I don't know if all of them
Democracy
believe it. I think
carries
some of them know
significant
it's the game.
generational
I'd have to
ceremony.
say
Like
that
Hmm.
there are
Inauguration,
people there that just like, yep, I'm just playing the game.
to set
I
our
mean,
unique
Trump's definitely just playing the
American
game.
course.
Yeah.
The past several years
He
have been
believes in
trying
Trump. That's all he believes in.
for many, many Americans, and also for the nations of the free
Oh, so we
world
might as well talk about it
who
while we're at it.
recently
So it's
in
really
November,
funny. You should
Americans
throw this
once
clip
again steered this
into the
nation
clip, but
toward greatness. The
the
secure,
podcast episode we did on
safe,
Friday,
and
I
prosperous
literally
future
talk about
that
how
our
this episode is going to
founders
age interestingly because we
envisioned
have
for
no
all
idea
of
what's going to
us.
happen on Monday with
And
TikTok.
Oh
And
yeah,
today,
then TikTok was
we celebrate
unbanned
not only
not
their
12 hours
decision to
after
do
that
so,
podcast.
but
So like we
also
didn't
the
even get a full
simple
24 hours
right
without TikTok.
and
And
yeah.
wisdom
as soon as
of a free
you
people to
finish it,
make their
as soon as
own
you open
choice
the app, it was
so
like
that their
President Trump has
nation might
saved
endure.
TikTok. And I'm just like,
And
man,
now,
we really
allow
live in
me
like
to
the most
welcome
boring
Archbishop Timothy
dystopia
Dolan
imaginable.
and
Like
Reverend
you
It's
couldn't
yeah,
Jesse
it's
even wait
Graham,
that
who will
long
deliver
to
our
to reverse
invocation.
the ban.
Please rise.
And it's very clearly at this point a PR stunt for the Trump
yeah.
administration.
I'm gonna quote Ash right now. This is
Mm.
ridiculous. That is her. That's
Mhm,
her
very
thought.
cool.
That's her thought bubble on TikTok.
Shout out, Comrade Ash. Um, no, it's just so dumb. I'm like, I mean, I low key don't even want to use that app. Even though I already got banned on Red Note. Follow my new Red Note.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I mean, okay, and then like, what's Trump saying? Like, 50% of it is going to be in the U.S. or something like that. I think I sent you the article on that, and then like someone said Trump. No, I'm sorry. Trump did say that like 50% of it, but it's like there's no details on it. And Trump
Yeah.
has, he has dreams of aspiration all the time. He talks out of his butt all the time about, like what he thinks is going to happen. Like,
Mhm.
oh, we're going to make Canada a 51st state. No, we're not. Like, it's
That
not
would be
going
funny.
to
It would be really funny if like later today we invade Canada.
happen.
Just
Yeah, the streets are the.
speed run American Civil War.
Oh, so it wasn't the customs and border up on the and border patrol up in Michigan or whatever it was. It
Hmm.
was at this Lake Superior. It's the military. They're gonna go invade Canada.
Yeah, I can see it.
Uh, yeah, and that's the other thing. The big, the deportations are just gonna start rolling out big time.
I mean, there's already
Yeah.
an operation that's going to be underway on Tuesday in Illinois in Chicago,
Yeah.
which is historical for ICE to operate. generally right after an inauguration, but I mean, we'll see if this one carries any particular brutality. And this is kind of the point I was making the other day with TikTok being unbanned. The U.S. is really setting itself up for even more abject failure because okay, so they're trying to the rhetoric behind banning the app
Mhm.
is it's pushing the narrative that they don't want the data to be given to the Chinese or whatever, but really a lot of it is trying or was trying to prevent more Americans from being radicalized and most Americans being radicalized from seeing what was happening in Palestine, seeing the genocide that Israel was committing. But since TikTok is now back, I guess, as more horrible shit happens within the states, such as like these things like mass deportations, or right-wing pogroms, that's all going to be reported on TikTok. So like their need for monopoly is capitalism's downfall.
Mhm. Yep. And they like the whole thing is like, if they really cared about our safety, why would they have given 270 days and then now another 90 days? You know what I mean? Like, why did that happen?
Right. Exactly.
Because everyone already has our data. It really doesn't really matter. As Cruz was saying, like I get a new data breach warning on my, in my text messaging like weekly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Father, when Donald Trump's enemies thought he was down and out, you and you alone saved his
Trump
life
thought he was down and out.
and raised him up with strength and power by your mighty hand.
I saw what you said. By the way, I just replied to you. Yeah, that's definitely an idea that we've had, and I was thinking it could be very crudely animated, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
almost like pencil, like I mean, like the most bare minimum animation. I have one. I just need to edit it down. But yeah, no, I think we definitely should do that because
yeah,
sometimes those conversations are very funny.
yeah, yeah. So
We thank you for Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife Usha and their young family. May he be a strength to President Trump to stand beside him.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
does JD Vance look like that?
I don't know. I uh, I just guess you don't age very well when you're a bad person. But like it's just so funny because like even 4 years ago, what JD Vance was saying about Trump, you know what I mean? Like it's like the whole thing is, and you'll watch Biden will shake Trump's hand and smile. They'll all be like, you saw Obama with Trump at the funeral, at Jimmy Carter's funeral, just like yucking it up and stuff. It is. It's just a big club. That's all it is.
Yeah. So so the other thing that's going on in the news, is I'm saying supposedly for a reason, but supposedly Israel and Hamas have come up with a ceasefire deal, which Israel is already not honoring. They're already continuing to drop bombs. Which, by the way, I feel like it's one thing to be a Palestinian on the ground and celebrating, less bombs happening to you, but it's wild when I see Western Marxists, like posting the genocide's over. What the fuck are you talking about? It is not over.
No.
It's
Yeah.
never been over.
Nope.
It shit's continuing right now.
Yep.
Like I just think that's so cringe. So this is a clipping from do you know what newspaper this is? The Forum.
What
Yeah.
from? Oh,
Israel,
it
yeah.
should be up the top. It should say.
Yeah, the Forum, Sunday, January 18th, 2009. Israel begins Gaza ceasefire. Jerusalem, Israel implemented a unilateral ceasefire early today in its 22-day offensive that turned Gaza neighborhoods into battlegrounds and dealt a stinging blow to the Islamic militants of Hamas. Israeli troops will stay in the Palestinian territories for now, never left, and Hamas threatened to keep fighting until they leave. In announcing the ceasefire late Saturday, Prime Minister Ehud Olmert said Israel had achieved its goals and more. Hamas was hit hard, its military arms and its government institutions, its leaders are in hiding, and many of its men have been killed. Israel launched the offensive on December 27th to stop years of rocket fire from Gaza. So I actually remember when that happened. I remember, obviously, age-wise, I didn't know really what was happening, but I remember like having the distinct like thought in my head, like, oh, there's a new war happening in the world right now.
Yeah. I that was probably when I first started really looking at Palestine was then. But like, just notice the date. It's January 18th, 2009. What was happening on January 20th, 2009 was Obama's second inauguration. And so like it's very that these things always seem to line up. Like certain things line up all the time. And it's, the bourgeoisie powers doing what they want to do and us all suffering from it. Or, so what's going on now? I think that, what did they just do? JD Vance, and now, here he is.
After me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. I, Donald John Trump.
Why is Ivanka dressed like she's at a funeral?
I will faithfully execute.
She looks like a 20s, like that.
Hey, she like she's a henchman. Yeah,
a mobster.
I can't believe this is happening, dog. I hate it here. I like.
It's just, I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, the fact that I read about fascism, and like in the last 10 years, I've read a lot about fascism, and that was like the thing. And then when you just see that, like, you're like, oh no, like, yeah, that just happened again.
Hey, look, the Civil War started.
I love it. Okay, so they're doing this outside, and like they're not even seeing it inside. Like, the ceremonies to me, and I get it. I get what ceremonies are, but like it's just so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like they all had to stand for an hour.
At Elon. Look at his face. Do you see him? Why is he staring so like that? He's pissed off.
Well, Vivek's leaving the Doge, so he probably thinks, "Oh no."
That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know, but I like that was the whole thing. Like, everyone making fun that Elon was actually the president and stuff.
Mm.
I think Elon thought that he was gonna be able to control. Yeah, but I don't think Elon realizes that it's not just Trump that holds the power. Like, it's not just the president. So there is other people that he'd have to sway. Oh God. What is going on?
So Biden's last tweet as president was, "Scripture says, I've been young and now I'm old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken. After all these years serving you, the American people, I have not seen the righteous forsaken. I love you all. May you keep the faith and may God bless you all." Man, fuck Genocide Joe. Like, I really just don't know what to say, right? Like, this shit is so dumb.
And the whole, like, I'm so freaking sick of Christianity being brought up so much in this. Like, honestly, like, if you guys want to sit there and say that you're, the forefathers and stuff, and I know that they put God in there, but like, you're leaning in hard to something that supposedly your heroes of the American Revolution said they were against. Like,
yeah,
not that they really were, but
right, exactly. Like, even the white supremacist bourgeois of 1776, like, in theory, were against putting just religious dominance over the land. They weren't really. But it's the same thing with these people. Like, they talk about the separation of church and state, but there is none. And typically within right wing countries, within fascist countries, they will gather around this ideology and this bastardization of religion, of Christianity, of God, in order to justify their own existence. Because okay, so like as a Muslim, right? Like one of the ways like I like to sort of like explain like why I believe in the things that I do believe is like Marxism explains our material reality, and then for me, not for everybody, of course,
Mhm.
there is an explanation of the things that happen, that we cannot see.
Mhm.
These people will then run with that excuse in terms of Christianity to basically be like, well, it was God's will that we would be in charge, not that we've manipulated the system or that we're playing this thing to be in our favor, or
Yeah.
that we believe in the supremacy of white people and the supremacy of capital, so we're just going to continue to do this. And
Yep.
if you try to argue against us, you're arguing against God, or you're fighting against God.
Yeah. The divine rights of kings has never gone away. Not ever.
Exactly.
Especially in the United States, they have kept that. They've
Mhm.
kept that going. I wanted to bring up my father. Came down. And he goes, "I like this." You know how my dad just like interrupts when I'm like doing
Yeah.
stuff, and he just comes in. I found out what the Trump Bible is. So it's the We the People Bible or something like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's the Bible that has the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and what's the other thing? The other thing.
Um, um, my brain is not working, but let
The
me pull it
Constitution,
up.
the Bill of Rights, and the what is the We the People? Is that the what is?
The
I had
Declaration
it
of
before.
Independence, you goober.
I don't even know. I don't
I'm
even
the
know
one who
what
has
the
to clap.
important U.S. documents are. I have no clue anymore.
My tummy.
But yeah, it's just I like one of the things like I don't know. It makes me can't stand Christianity even more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I was
Yeah.
raised a Catholic. My mom was, she wasn't a well, I mean, she pushed it on her children, but she wasn't out there like pushing it on everyone. But
Yeah.
she was very, very Catholic and
Mm,
you know, I kind of moved away from that. I saw the bullshit in that like early on. I didn't really like some of the stuff, I didn't really adhere to it and stuff. So,
mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I always was like, all right, well, but like, like I have no problem with anyone being religious on anything and what they believe. I'm agnostic. I don't,
Yeah.
but that stuff just makes me cringe
Okay.
about Christianity. It's so bad. What's up?
It's the God Bless the USA Bible.
It is my honor and pleasure
I'll
to
send you the link.
introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Boo.
Bleh.
Boo. L. Imagine Trump pulls up this Twitch stream and is like, "Get him."
we
That
are,
would
we
be
are
pretty
now
fucking
enemy
funny.
of the state. We are
I mean, you
enemy of
joke
Trump.
now.
Well, even like when we were first listening, like they say the enemies of Trump,
Mm.
not of the state of Trump.
Well, Trump is the same. Trump is God.
Thank you very much, everybody. Wow.
Let's look at his
you
list
very
of
much.
day ones.
Hold on a
Vice
second.
President
You're
Vance,
getting a little.
Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune,
Are you there, Ivan?
Justice Roberts, Justices of the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
United States Supreme
You
Court.
got
Can
a
you not hear
little.
me? Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little robot-y. You're
Okay.
better now.
President Obama,
Let me higher his volume just a little bit.
President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens.
The golden age of America begins right now.
Ugh.
Gilded age. We're in a gilded age.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every
trying not
single
to laugh.
day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
Woo! White supremacy #1. It's just so, like, again, I just
Our
can't.
sovereignty
I
will be
understand. A
reclaimed.
lot of people
Our safety
are
will be
uneducated. You know, a
restored.
lot of people don't understand these
scales of
nuances or even
justice
have the
will
time to.
be
But like, how can you
rebalanced.
listen to these people
The
and believe it?
vicious, violent, and
Yeah.
unfair weaponization
Well,
of the
even
Justice
just
Department
that
and our government
you know,
will
a
end.
million people go over to Red Note, you know, and a lot of them were pretty liberal people, and they're like, "Oh, so
And
our
top
government was
priority
lying
will
to
be
us?"
to create a nation
And then
that
like
is
there's the
proud,
meme where
prosperous,
the
and
U.S. government
free.
was lying to us, and then the Chinese people saying, "Oh, the Chinese propaganda on the U.S. was
America
correct."
will soon be greater,
Mm.
stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before.
Look at
I
us.
return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success.
What happened to his cool
The
haircut?
tide of change is sweeping.
I don't
the
know. His
country.
hair's been in a
Sunlight is
little
pouring over the entire
fluctuation
world,
lately.
and America has the chance to
He
seize
had
this
that one
opportunity like
hairdresser.
never before. But first, we must be honest
Probably has
about
a
the
different hairdresser
challenges
now
we
because he had
face.
that one for years and
While
years
they
and
are
years.
plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our
His hair looks
government
weirdly
confronts a
shiny.
crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our
Glad he got his
citizens while
tan
the
in though.
pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time
I'm just looking at this
stumbling
AP
into a
article.
continuing
Yeah.
catalog of catastrophic
He's
events.
looking so
It
old
fails to
now.
protect
Like
our
his
magnificent,
cheeks are getting all
law-abiding
sunken and everything.
American citizens,
This
Mhm.
next
but
4 years
provides
is
He's getting
much
that got
needed.
look of death.
dangerous criminals,
Mhm.
many from prisons and mental institutions that have
What?
illegally entered our country from all over
Oh
the
my.
world.
I can't
We
stand
have a
it.
government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend
They
American
don't even
borders,
take care of mental health here.
importantly, its own people.
No.
Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown.
Why is that?
People of North Carolina
Did Buddy just forget
been
that he
treated
was
so badly.
president during COVID as well?
Yeah,
Hold on,
he
I gotta-
totally. They, you know,
And other states who are still suffering from
they
a
think we
hurricane
have
that
like the
was a few
attention
months
span
ago,
of
or
a
more
gnat or
recently
something. I
Los
don't know.
Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn.
There we go.
From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful.
And what would have
individuals
changed?
in our
There's fires going on right now. The
country.
Santa Ana winds are picking up, and there's going to be more
Donald
fires.
Trump would have
longer.
stopped climate
That's
change.
interesting.
Come on.
But we can't
He's-
let
he's the
this
Trump.
happen.
The
Everyone
Trumpster.
is
They just put out
saying
another warning
the
for LA this morning.
only
So
thing about it that's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any
it doesn't
country
deliver
anywhere
in
in the
times
world.
of non-disaster
We have an
either.
education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately
What school
to
does
provide
that?
to them.
What school does that?
All of this will
We have
change
to. They still do the
starting
Pledge of
today,
Allegiance.
and it will change very quickly.
By the way, that they added God in like 1950 to combat the
Yeah,
communist ungodliness.
It's the same concept of like when people are like the Marxists
My recent
infiltrated every
election is a
institution. I
mandate
fucking
to
wish.
completely and totally reverse a horrible
The world would be a better
betrayal
place if they did.
and all of
Much
these
better.
many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Is
It's over.
over. It's
Over.
over.
It's over.
This guy's such a putz, bro.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government.
Mhm.
Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history. Learned a lot
Nope.
along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic.
Not to give him too many points, but I feel like FDR did a little bit more.
I mean, he was tested a little bit. I think Abraham Lincoln was a little tested. I don't know.
You know,
And indeed,
Lincoln.
to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear.
Your ear that doesn't
But I
look like it was
felt
ever
and believe
touched.
even more so now that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
make great again.
Oh Lord, and they're all standing. Look at who's standing. They're all standing. Every Democrat, they are standing over that.
It's like all white people here, by the way.
Thank you very much.
So gross.
That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color,
I don't know about that,
and
buddy.
creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
I can't believe he said that. That's so fucking funny. Liberation
It is
Day.
my hope
Oh
that
my
our recent
Lord.
presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is
Yeah.
rapidly unifying behind
Doesn't
our
pull
agenda
fascist
with
out.
dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural. And very
Americans.
importantly,
Americans.
a powerful win in all 7 swing states. And the popular vote, we won by millions of people. To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust
R.I.P.
that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've
What
heard your
records?
voices in the
Oh, records of
campaign, and I look forward
voting
to
for
working with you in the years to come.
Well, I mean, when
Today
your
is
your
Martin
options
Luther
were,
King Day, and his
you know,
honor, this will
someone
be a
actively
great
doing a
honor.
genocide
But in
and
his honor,
someone
we
who
will strive
promises, you know, on the
together to
surface
make his dream
to make things a little
a
better,
reality.
who actually
We will
ran a
make his
campaign,
dream come
even if
true.
that campaign is horrible campaign, they still ran a campaign as opposed
Yeah.
to Kamala Harris, who didn't run
Yeah.
anything. People are going to vote for him.
Yeah. I mean that's all. Like honestly, yeah. Kamala could have. Kamala could have definitely
Returning to
run an actual
America,
campaign,
and
and
confidence and
she
pride
may
is
have won.
growing like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God.
Oh, our God. Because America has its own God. Isn't that paganism? I don't know.
Cutie, when it pops off, you're going to pull a Lenin, bro.
Today, I will sign
You're going to
a
have to get
series
back
of
on that
historic
fucking
executive
turbulent
orders.
roller
Get
coaster
your
plane
butt up
ride.
here.
These actions, we will begin the
He's not
complete
coming.
restoration of
He's feeling
America
sick.
No.
and the revolution of common sense.
Goofball.
Revolution
All
of
about
common sense.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
Didn't he do that last time?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down, bro.
Yeah, national emergency, southern border, yay.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy.
It's gonna be interesting to
I
see.
will end the practice of catch and release.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what
And I will
how
send
Mexico
troops
reacts
to the
to
southern border
the
to
next 4
repel
years.
the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
The cat is bugging out. Give me a second.
Oh my god. Are they calling something the alien?
The Alien Enemies Act of 1798
Oh, they're using the.
our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Basically, anyone we don't like.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher
And basically, they
responsibility
use that against communists too,
invasions, and
Yep.
that is exactly what I am going
and the
to do.
anarchists.
We will do it at a level that nobody's ever
They
seen
can take the
before.
anarchists. That's fine.
Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
I can't. I've seen those memes, those AI memes, where they're like, eggs are gonna cost $1.99 on January 20th. I'm like, no, it won't.
Escalating energy prices, and that
I
is
think
why
that's what we should do: is keep going to our grocery store. Like eggs are still $7.
we will
Cabaret is staring
drill,
at us mercilessly
baby,
right now. I
drill.
love Cabaret because, yeah, yeah, basically.
And now it goes so I just came across the meme where the list that they put out of all Biden's accomplishments. Like this was a couple of years ago they put this together.
Once
Oh, God.
again,
And they'll
and
do
we
the
have
same thing for
something
Trump
no
because
other
they'll claim that he
manufacturing
accomplished all
will
this
ever
stuff.
have.
So
The
everything he's
largest
saying
amount
here
of oil and
Yeah.
gas of
is
any
bullshit.
country on earth.
Yep.
And we are going
Well, except
to
for
use
sending troops to the border. That's not
We use
bullshit.
it.
And
We
bro,
will
Buddy
bring
says we're gonna
prices
invade
down,
Canada during the speech. I'm gonna
fill
die.
our strategic
I know.
reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world.
No one wants our energy.
We will be a rich nation again, and it is that
Oh, so we're not a
liquid
rich
gold
nation.
under our feet
Noted.
that will help
We're
to
not.
do it. With my actions today,
Well,
we
he's
will
admitting
end
it.
the Green New Deal, and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great
There's
American
Elon's
auto workers.
in. Like it doesn't save anything. Electric vehicles right now are not saving the planet.
Yeah, but look at that guy in his fucking hat, bro.
In other words,
That guy
ability
should have been
to
president. I don't know who
buy
that was,
the
but
car of your choice. We will build
this cat is
automobiles
tweaking
in
out.
America
I know.
again
He's
at a
president
rate
again,
that
bro. I don't know what you want me to
nobody
do.
could have dreamt
He's
possible
sad.
just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote.
Yeah, because Biden screwed up so bad with unions.
Mhm.
Of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose,
Are you
we are
not
establishing
citizens?
the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be
ERS.
massive.
Okay, are we
amounts of
paying off
money
China
flowing
first?
into our treasury,
Never.
coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore confidence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Doge.
And you're already losing Vivek
Oh
because
my
he's
God.
running as governor for Ohio or whatever.
One of us
goober-
is a job.
what did you call it? The goober turning it.
Restrict free expression. I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Collective can say whatever we want. You heard him say it.
Woo!
We'll play this clip in court when they trialing us.
Cutie says he effectively said we'll invade Mexico.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again under my leadership. We will
Low key,
restore
bro's
fair,
cooking right now.
equal, and
So we
impartial
could
justice
just keep doing what we're
under the
doing.
constitutional rule of law.
All right, bet.
Nice.
And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities.
Oh yay. There's not.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life.
Socially engineer it. So you're gonna get rid of the white supremacists? Okay. Say the ones that did it.
Merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Boo.
Lord.
Cringe. Ah, that guy's excited.
Cutie saying Z made a deal. He gets half of TikTok and we get to do communism.
Nice.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Look at this goober. Yay!
And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being
He's gonna turn
subjected
around.
to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
But you just said we're cool with free speech.
Our
I know.
armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating
Imperialism.
America's enemies.
Yeah, so we're going to let you back into the military because you're anti-vax, and we're going to put you in more.
Yep. What is it? What is gonna the official policy of the U.S. government for there to be only two genders? So like, what does that mean, big dog?
I mean,
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world
I don't know.
has ever seen.
Kamal already said that.
We
That's
will
all
measure
news.
our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Yeah, he's not anti-imperialist.
You see, you can't be an imperialist if there's never an official war.
I
My
know.
proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to
They're
their
dead.
families.
Yeah, could you imagine there's a COVID outbreak amongst
Yep,
troops,
the Pal-
especially in war conditions? Like that shit happens a lot and very quickly.
Yep.
But
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world.
Did that
A
really
short
happen?
time from now, we are going to be
No.
changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the
Oh my
Gulf of
You
America.
can't
how
change
how do
the
you
name.
do that
Doofus.
though? You know what I mean? Like
Of a great
like
president,
there's no website,
William
bro. Like
McKinley,
You
to
can't
Mount
change
McKinley,
it.
where it should be and where it belongs.
It's like Elon thinking he can change Twitter.
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made. And Panama's promise to us has
Do you
been
know how much
broken.
money the Panama
Progressive
Canal made
idea
capitalists?
And the spirit of our treaty has
No.
been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form. And that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal. And we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
so Panama's taking advantage of the fact that we have the Panama Canal there, but also it's secretly ruled by China. So we're in order to save it from China, we're gonna take it from the Panamanians.
Yeah.
Look how
Above
happy
all,
Kamala
my
is.
message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United
By not
States
You
will
vaccinating
can't
once again
without
consider
vaccine.
itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
There's another Elon thing. There you go.
Mhm. Oh my god. Yo, fuck that dork.
Yay, Mars! Yeah, go up there and stay there.
Is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans
there
are
isn't.
explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit
Sound
of
weird.
the
Doesn't come from
frontier
any
is
other
deep into
nation.
our
Nazis.
hearts. The call of the
White
next
supremacists.
great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens.
And how they do that?
Colonized.
How do they do that?
Americans
They
pushed
did it with
thousands
colonization, Eddie.
of untamed wilderness.
No, no.
across
The
deserts, scaled
revolution
mountains,
was
braved
good.
untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity,
Billions.
split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm
Wasn't
of
it
the
the
human hand.
USSR that first went in?
If we work together, there
Yeah.
is nothing we cannot do,
The
and no
communists
king
first went
cannot
there.
achieve.
USSR
Many
won the
people
space race.
thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
No, not really. About 20% of the American people were, I don't know, had a bad choice.
This cat is going crazy right now.
He don't like Trump.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best.
No, this was not impossible. This was kind of inevitable, I think.
From Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights
Are the enslaved
and for
peoples?
our freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle
But yes, the
meet their
police have
spirit or their
built this
pride.
country so great.
They
Together
have.
they laid down the railroad,
They put
raised
down
up the
anyone who stood in their way.
skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced.
They
After
didn't
all
defeat
we've been
communism
through
because I'm
together,
still
we
here.
stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. They're going to win like never before.
Oh yes, you're such a winner.
Charlie Sheen ass fucking speech. Winning.
Winning.
Thank you.
I think it's the same speech that he gave 4 years ago, to be honest. He definitely said winning in that speech.
Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power
Compassion.
will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We
What does
will
that
be
mean?
proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be
How?
intimidated.
You're just
We will
saying
not
shit.
be broken,
We
and
will
we
not.
will not fail. From
Well, the
this
Chinese
day
are
on, the
dropping
United
paratroopers off.
States
Did
of
you not know that?
America will be a free, sovereign, and independent
More,
nation. We
you
will
know,
stand bravely.
people going over to a Chinese app
We will
cause
dream
people
boldly,
like
and
more
nothing
world
will
peace than,
stand in our way because we are
Mhm.
Americans.
than
The
anything this
future is
doofus
ours,
is gonna do.
and our golden age has just begun. Thank you.
Ash,
God
it
bless
is
America.
so
Thank you
wild.
all.
The whole thing was wild.
I think the absolute like
you
most
very
wild thing he said was talking about the two genders thing. Like
Yeah.
that, like I mean they're white supremacists, right? Like that's what they do, but like that was pretty general, like pretty genuinely like mask off like fascism.
Yeah. And that the color blindness stuff, like that didn't work. That is what we were, I was told as a child that, we don't see color. And that like that was after the civil rights, like they were trying to throw that around.
Please welcome the Armed Forces
No,
Chorus,
you can't just
Harry Underwood.
go around pretending. that there isn't issues.
Mhm. All right. We don't need
Yeah,
to
that
watch Carrie Underwood do her
no,
thing, do
I
we?
really don't want to watch Carrie Underwood.
All right.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna just have this in the background in case something crazy happens. Yeah,
Oh, I
Ash.
want.
Basically, what?
I'm sorry. Go. No, you do yours. I wanted to bring up something.
No. So what I was gonna say, Ash, is what he said was that it's gonna be America's policy, the American government's policy that there are only two genders,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like one, I don't. What does that even mean? It's so open ended. And the thing with Trump and the thing with fascists, right, is that they say things just to get a rise out of their base, to get people, invest in what they're saying, to get people to do the claps
Mm-hmm.
and standing up and all that bullshit. So whether or not he like actually means something out of that, I don't know.
Can we
Uh,
choose the two genders? Can it be they and she? No.
that's true. That's true. No, exactly. Like,
We'll just get rid of the he's. Sorry,
uh,
all he's.
yeah, that's an interesting point. Actually, I didn't even think of it that way, the way he phrased it. Because he's saying that there's only going to be two genders. So can I say that I'm a female then? Like if that's
Yeah,
how I am, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
or does he specifically mean they? Or is this guy just a fucking dumbass and he doesn't know what he's talking about and he's just gonna say something that's gonna get the anti-woke crowd all riled
Mm-hmm.
up, you know?
Yep. Yep.
I heard him say our American ancestors.
Yes.
Yeah, again, because he's talking about how our American ancestors tamed the West, colonized, enslaved, millions of people, and all that fun stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Underwood is singing. I'm gonna close the tab. I don't want to
I
hear it.
wanted to bring up. I was going to bring up the Snoop Dogg thing because, like, 8 years ago with Snoop Dogg and him, like, coming down on Trump and all this, and then he has a little video where he's like, he's saying all this stuff like stuff I can't say as a white woman, but like that anyone performing, you're performing for the white man, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he had, a lot of stuff he said on that 8 years ago, and then all of a sudden he's performing for the
Wow, it's almost like the bourgeois, regardless of race, creed, color, or religion, are only interested in advancing their position and maintaining their profits.
Mhm.
And they'll be willing to jump on whatever train, whether it's just, shitting on Trump, which we saw a lot of comedians do. We saw a lot of late night TV do, a lot of internet personalities do that. Um, and yet they're the same kind of people who would, go ahead and hang out with him if given the opportunity because
Mhm.
they're friends. I mean, even Kamala Harris, like I made a few comments I'm trying to reload the thing. But now it seems like there's probably a lot of traffic right now in C-SPAN.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I mean, like Obama, right? Like that picture just came out of Obama and Trump yucking it up at Jimmy Carter's funeral, and liberals are still surprised. Well, they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" And it's like, yeah, like you said earlier, like George Carlin said, it's a big club, and you're not in it.
Mhm.
That's it. There's it's such a simple explanation in a lot of ways. Not that I don't think George was a Marxist at all. I mean, I don't know,
No,
but
no, he was
like
more probably tended more, I don't know, agnostic on it. No, he was like an he probably had like some anarchist tendencies.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, because I would feel like at times, like I love George, but there were things that he was more of a non-organizational kind of person. Like he would say the right things, but he wasn't about to organize against it. So
right. Yeah, it's trends. You know what I mean? And as scary, I don't know. What am I trying to say? As scary as the new Trump presidency may seem, it's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't be scared or you shouldn't like worry about
mhm.
the future, but you should be worried regardless of who's in charge at this point
Yeah,
because
yeah,
all those people in that room, the Elon Musks, the Trumps, the Kamalas, all those people, they're all, again, they're aiming for the same thing, which is the supremacy of capital. And whether they're putting it in flowery language or they're just being blatantly transphobic or whatever, or racist, everything in America is moving in that direction. It has always been moving in that direction because this is what this country is all about. I mean, he said it in the speech himself, talking about, bringing manifest destiny to the stars, talking about colonization, talking about the ever expanding American empire. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they had yeah, it was a cringe lib moment, but they had mentioned they had called Trump 45, like how they used to back in the day.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I'm like, I don't call him that because he fits exactly into what America is about. Endless consumption, endless capitalism, endless imperialism. So that was goofy as fuck.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's funny and what he said and what he didn't say. I thought he might bring up something about TikTok or something. I don't know. I felt like that was the reason why the CEO of TikTok was going to be there, but apparently he was just glazing up stuff for Elon. So
yeah, I thought he was going to mention it at least a little bit, but I guess not.
Yeah,
that it's contradiction to his own thoughts and base and whatever.
Yeah.
I did see on TikTok people were like, how did Shu, why did he bow down to Trump? I didn't expect it. They're capitalists, bro. They're capitalists.
Yeah. I saw someone say like making a, like he's an Asian man who grew up in Texas, but he's like, I've been in these spaces. And so, like almost like Chen, like, is it the last name Chen?
I'm not sure.
The CEO. Okay. The CEO of TikTok was actually, doing that whole, 3D chess Chew. Okay. Like doing like a whatever, the 12D chess moves or something like that. Like that's how they have to, they can't just look at someone and say, you're a capitalist and you're working off of that. No, he's actually, trying to be a hero and he's playing this game and he's going to win in the end.
No.
And that's not what's going to happen. No.
Nope. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, returning back to the American nightmare, things are only getting worse, regardless of Trump being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's hiking Jover for the United States. It's been.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that I truly hope that some of the people that, have those liberal tendencies of like leaning in, thinking that things can be fixed here and reformed here and stuff like that are starting to, because I was there at one point. I really thought, we could reform some stuff years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really hope more people are understanding we can't reform this. We can't reform this system.
Yeah, you can't. We can't. It's by design. Everything that's happening is by design. I don't mean that in like a Nostradamus kind of way. It's just dialectics. It's history. It's the rise of fascism. It's capitalism becoming so large that it collapses on itself and decays into fascism. There's no way to avoid it. The only thing that there is to do is to participate in the class struggle, to protect your communities, yourself, your neighbors, and it's just simply the sacrifice that we as communists have to make.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going back to bed.
Yes, you need to do that.